My name is Dan, and today we're going to be talking about The Dreaming. The Dreaming is a new LARP that is in construction right now. The concept of The Dreaming is that it's supposed to be a 24/7 decentralized game, meaning that you don't need to go find a group of players to go play with. You can begin playing no matter where in the world you are. And 24/7 means it's always running all the time. So anytime you have time to play or you feel like playing or your friends are playing, you can jump in and play too. You don't need to wait for the weekend for there to be a big event. You can play whenever you want. The game is called The Dreaming because it takes place in the mythical realm where we go when we sleep. When you play the game, when you decide to be playing the game, you'll put on an armband to designate that you're now a dream character. That way other people in the game will recognize that you're a part of the game. When you're playing the game, everybody else in the game, no, everybody else in the world, everybody that's not playing, to you appears like a wake, somebody that's actually just having a dream and wandering this particular part of the dream world. So they're not really part of the game, but they are there. You can still talk to them. They might come up and ask you what you're doing. So in the Dreaming, there are a couple of different races you can play, the different types of creatures that live in the Dreaming. Among them are visions. They're like the natural born inhabitants. You'd think of them as like dreams, and they create the dreams that we have when we sleep. But there's also, let's see, dead gods, gods who were once worshipped in the real world. There are thousands and thousands of gods in ancient Mesopotamia, Babylon, old world mythology, and lots of like new gods that people have kind of taken up in more modern times. But in our mythology of the game, when a god loses most of his or her followers, they end up sort of getting trapped in the Dreaming, unable to affect the world in any way, and they just have to wait there until they get new followers or Ragnarok, the end of the world. There's also lost souls, people who died and on their way to the afterlife got lost in this labyrinth and ended up in the Dreaming instead of where they're supposed to go. So you're sort of like a ghost. And then Fae are another one of the races. Fae come from the realm of fairy, which has recently gotten very dangerous. It's all torn asunder by war, so the fairies are hiding here in the Dreaming. You can play a Fae who is taking refuge and may or may not be welcome here in this area. In the Dreaming, you can get in boffer fights. You can make boffer weapons and get in fights with other players. Sometimes you'll engage monsters. Those are also played by other players. Sometimes you'll go on an adventure called a dream walk. And in that adventure, some of your friends will have to turn into monsters and fight you, and you'll have to defeat them in order to move forward. Or there will be various other challenges that you have to pass. When you complete a dream walk, in order for it to count, somebody has to archive it. That means they have to write up a blog entry or take pictures or video from the adventure that you guys just went on and post it onto the game's website on the internet. You'll be able to view all the adventures that everybody else went on, and by going on adventures, you'll generate more stuff for people to look at, more content for the game. So when you finish these dream walks, and these dream walks can be parts of plot lines, by which you can compete with people, anywhere else in the world that are playing. For example, one dream walk might be an adventure to go rescue some of those Fae that are trapped in the realm of fairy, these refugees. And every time you and your friends complete that adventure, you'll have rescued 2 of them. And there's like a pool of them, that's numbers recorded on the website of how many Fae, maybe there's 50 Fae that are trapped there. Every time you complete the adventure, 2 get rescued. But other people can go on the other adventure, Close the Gates, where instead of going to fairy to rescue the Fae, they go into the depths of the Dreaming and close the gates that other people are using to rescue. And doing that seals 2 Fae away forever that can never be rescued. So you can kind of thwart those people that are trying to rescue the refugees. And that number comes out of the pool as well, and that's recorded. So you can be competing with people who you may never actually meet, who are just playing the game somewhere else in the world. The other thing that you get for going on dream walks is you have a dream stone, one magic item. Everybody has one magic item, and it's yours. It can't be stolen from you. It can't be traded. And you get to pick what it looks like, any kind of cool looking rock or gem or crystal or something like that. And it has these powers in it which awaken over time. When you go on dream walks, you get lucidity. You'll record the lucidity on your character sheet, which is actually your profile on the game social networking site. and then you can spend that lucidity to give your Dreamstone powers that'll aid you. And then the other fun thing is territories. You can get together a bunch of people and do a ritual which creates game territories. That's by means of this ritual, you create create special areas of the game that have certain meaning. And for example, you can create an arena or a feast hall or any number of other things. These serve as waypoints for the game, places where people will gather. You can post to the website, we're meeting at the arena tonight, and that might actually be your local park, or maybe somebody's got a basement that's big enough for people to get in boffer fights in and not be clocking random people. When you create one of these locations, you can become the master of it, and doing that gives you special abilities that you can use when you're in that area. For example, in the arena master can turn people into shades, monsters that other players will have to fight, and he can set up duels between players and then grant powers to the winners of those duels and tournaments and what have you. So you can kind of transform areas where you and your friends already hang out into game areas that have special meaning. So that's the short story of what the Dreaming is. Over the next couple weeks, you'll see dreamings.ning.com flesh out a little bit better, a little bit more fully. And please feel free to poke around, ask questions, post on the forums, let me know what you think. I'm dying to hear what other people think of all these lunatic ideas. In the coming weeks, I will also talk more about different game stuff and perhaps what's going into the design, what the thoughts are. And we'll see you around. Thanks for watching, and I will see you around.